I'm Steve Tower. I'm with the Islington Green Team, and I'm here with Dennis and Carol also, who is on our Green Team. Flip it, mouse. I'm going to talk about accomplishments, 2 slides actually, accomplishments and challenges, and Dennis is going to talk about lessons learned, and then we'll wrap up. First of all, I'd like to say that our accomplishments came in 5 different categories. We did a solar power installation, we did a lighting retrofit, we did an installation upgrade, we implemented governance around our Green Team officially, and we just launched a new food program. The solar power project was about getting a solar audit done to justify that we could make money. It was a good investment, and we subsequently installed a 10 kilowatt microfit 18 months ago, so it's been up and running now for over a year, and it's been very successful. What led us to this, that enabled it, was that we had a climate change expert in our church, amongst our membership, that talked twice to large groups of our members, and convinced our members that we had to do something. And then what we did, because we were skeptics and knew nothing about solar power, we went out and saw what other churches were doing. So we did a road trip. Carol was with me. We went down to Hamilton and saw a very poor congregation with a solar panel on their roof, and they were raving about how successful it was. So we figured if they could do it, we could do it. And then we also went through the process of convincing our financial people that it was a good return. It was a sound investment, way better than GICs that were paying under 2%. We could show that this solar system would net between 10 and 15% ROI. So that, again, was more money that was going to go back to members and programs. Our lighting retrofit started 2 years ago. We initially swapped out several hundred lamps. Very difficult 90-watt lamps, high in our sanctuary, for 28-watt lamps. We changed all our T12 fluorescents to T8s. We put a whole bunch of CFLs in, and last year we started experimenting some more with LEDs. In fact, we got rid of all the 30-watt bulbs in our exit signs, which is a big savings because they burn every day of the year, every hour of the year. What helped with that was doing a wall-to-wall energy audit, which proved that we had 900 lamps in our church. It's a 30,000 square foot facility. It was an eye-opener. And we were spending about 40% of our electrical bill just lighting the place. So save on energy incentives help fund that, and access to resources, access to people like Ed from Sylvania, and Donna, and George Kennedy, and other people helped tip us to do that. Our insulation project came up out of the blue. A leaky 6,500 square foot flat roof turned into an opportunity to re-insulate. The facilities team was going to replace the roof as is, go R9 to R10. We said, oops, we have an opportunity here to better insulate. We justified it with an extra less than 10% cost to double to an R20. And subsequent to that, we found actually donors within our congregation willing to give us money to fill some of the gaps that we identified in our energy audit. And we redid 60 receptacles, 340 feet of baseboard, 8 radiators, and now we're working on 9 sets of wooden double doors. The things that led us to successful time with the installation was getting involved, helping the facilities team look through the roofing bids, work with the roofing contractors. We pulled in help, like Michael Fraser, to help review the doors. And we got input from people who had actually been there and done it before and got opinions on what to do. And once we started work, we were reporting weekly everything we did. And people started to see, a picture of somebody fixing a baseboard and insulating and the net results. So it started to click that we were doing something useful for the congregation. One big thing that we accomplished last year is we got ourselves a seat on the church council. We were like a little ad hoc team working on the side, separate from the regular governance of the church. We asked for the seat, they gave it to us, and that gave us an opportunity to actually see what the rest of the church was doing and be more proactive. Hear what's coming up, volunteer to get involved, because there were 24 other people on the church council and we were just one, and we started to collaborate. We took advantage of that seat on council to actually publish a mission statement, a vision for our green team, and a strategy. Dennis and Carol helped with that. We identified 30 projects that we wanted to do over the next 3 to 5 years. And we published that, and then we got a chance to give bi-monthly reports to the church council. Only one-pagers, but good enough to show that we were doing things and we were planning to do things. So they saw that there was action happening. And we also get to publish an annual report in our normal church document. And again, whenever something started to happen, weekly reports. And then the last thing, which we're just starting now, which has been very difficult to launch, is the food task force. We're really stepping on a lot of toes. We're really getting involved with people who are part of the institution of the core of the church. Hospitality and food go together. And our focus is sustainable food outreach. We already have, we run a food bank. We're involved in out of the cold programs. We have a lot of food ministry associated with our summer camps for youth and children. And we really were buoyed by hearing some of the other faith family case studies when we were here 2 years ago at Islington St. George's, and we heard what the synagogues and the temples and the other churches were doing around food. Farm to fork, organic, doing gardens on their properties. We thought, we can do that. You know, that is something that our church has a skill to do. So we've been persistent over 2 years, asking people to get involved in this sort of thing and listening to what their issues are. And now I think we're doing the right thing. So lastly, from my perspective, the challenges, they fall into 3 categories: knowledge about green, understanding, and having developed a relationship with groups to actually work with them, and resources. Knowledge, there is a wide range of understanding of green topics out there. People don't know how much power they consume or how much power the church consumes. The solar panels we put on the roof of the church are enough to supply an average Toronto household with power for the year. People didn't understand that. Didn't understand that the church was consuming 7 times that in a year. So we had to do our homework. We had to put some figures in front of people. We had to tell them what was going on. We had to take them on field trips. We've been to a synagogue. We've been to 2 churches. We've been to several meetings in other faith communities to see what is happening, and we've brought along people from our church, and that's helped, and that's certainly got the solar power project going. And the other thing we do constantly is repeat ourselves. We're constantly communicating. We're giving notices on a weekly basis. We're updating people on a monthly basis. We're continuing to publish and tell them how much we're conserving, the benefits of conserving, the actual things that we're doing. Tougher area to deal with is having people understand and work and collaborate with you. There's a lot of turf in our church. People have been doing things for 50 years or 60 years or 70 years, and we're the new guys on the block. They don't know us. They don't understand us. They don't know why we're interested in what they're doing. And we've had to ask to talk to them. We've had to ask to talk to the facilities group. We've had to ask to talk to the hospitality group so that we can tell them things about green programs that would interest them. In our facilities committee, they're starting now to invite us to their meetings. And we actually went through a budget walkthrough with them, which was just an amazing moment when they asked our opinion on what they should be doing next year in their operational budget, which is over $100,000, and opinions on capital projects, which are probably going to be over $100,000 again. We've also helped them and some of the other committees uncover their needs and understand what their objectives are, so we can do something mutually that achieves both what we're trying to do. Also, we've had to show a lot of respect and listen. We have a lot of 70 and 80-year-old people involved in our committees that have been doing things in a certain way. We've been exploring the notion of a community kitchen lately. It's been very tough for us. We've had to introduce them to other communities, faith families that are doing this sort of thing, and talk and talk and talk, and then uncover what the underlying issues are. They're overworked, they're underappreciated, and they're under-equipped. And we've got to get through some of those issues before we even get to the point where we're going to have a good conversation around a community kitchen. And then lastly, volunteer time and interest. Everybody has different things they're interested in. If you're interested in water, or if you're interested in power, or you're interested in food, we have opportunities in our church, because all our committee have different interests, and we have to accommodate that in our meeting schedules. We have to set meetings at certain times, invite 10 people, hope 5 show up, which is the kind of situation you're in when you're dealing with volunteers. And we've tended to keep things going that way. And lastly, funding. Our green team has no budget, never has had a budget. We always use other people's money. It's kind of an unnerving situation to be in, but it works best like that. And we keep telling people what we're trying to do, and the money comes. It's usually other folks' budget that we're spending, but in the last year, we've gotten 3 donations directly to the green team for our works. A $2,500 gift to do an energy audit, a $5,000 gift to do insulation, and just the other week we got another $3,000 given to us to re-insulate the church. So, it's like the ballpark. If you build it, they will come. We talk about green initiatives, the benefits to the church, and therefore we end up with some money.